Now, Republican Oklahoma Congressman Jim Bridenstine, of course, the subject of this tweet. Thanks very much for taking the time today.
Thanks, Jim. It's good to be with you.
So to be clear, from this tweet you said, again, I'll remind our viewers, if Paul Ryan isn't for Trump, then I am not for Paul Ryan. To be clear, you're saying to your Republican colleagues in the House that they should vote Paul Ryan out of his speakership?
Actually, that's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm suggesting here is that the stakes of this election are extremely high, and we need all Republicans to be united. That's my objective here. We have so much at stake in this election as Republicans that now is not the time to be fighting amongst each other. Now is not the time to be backing away from our nominee. We have very serious things at stake. For example,
but let me ask you before you go there, because I want to be clear. Your tweet said the words, "I'm not for Ryan if Ryan isn't for Trump." Does that not mean that you don't support the House Speaker of your own party?
Well, you have to read the entire tweet. It says, given the stakes of this election, if Paul Ryan is not for Donald Trump, then I'm not for Paul Ryan. It's an if-then statement.
So you're saying are you giving Paul Ryan effectively a chance to come around and support Donald Trump? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. I am encouraging the Speaker of the House and all Republicans to stay on board for 3.5 weeks. That's all we're talking about here. 3.5 weeks. The balance of the Supreme Court hangs on this election.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be 3.5 weeks, would it? I mean, if he's Donald Trump's elected president, that's for 3.5 weeks plus 4 years, right? So in effect, you're asking for them to support for the long haul.
Well, I'm asking them to support Donald Trump because this election is bigger than Donald Trump. This election is bigger than Paul Ryan. It's bigger than any of us who serve in elected office. The Supreme Court hangs in the balance. Donald Trump has shown us who he will appoint to the Supreme Court, and we know, based on who Bill Clinton appointed to the Supreme Court, who Hillary Clinton will appoint to the Supreme Court. This election is critically important. We have 3.5 weeks until the election. I don't know who's going to say what or what might have been recorded in the past. We've got 3.5 weeks until this election. Republicans need to hang together, and I am encouraging all Republicans to stand strong and stay with our nominee so that we can win this election.
Let me ask you this, because Paul Ryan's position effectively, he still says he's endorsing Donald Trump, just that he will no longer defend him for things like the offensive tape and also not campaign with him. So still endorse him, but not campaign with him, not defend him. Is that a fair balance in your view?
Well, I mean, I think what we have to do is recognize that Donald Trump is the nominee of the party, quite frankly, because Republicans have been ineffective at pushing back on this president. Now that Donald Trump is the nominee, we need to support him to the end to win, because this election is too important. Obamacare is on the ballot in this election. A secure border on the south side of the United States is on the ballot in this election. Donald Trump is our nominee. Hillary Clinton is not the person that is going to defend the Republican values that we hold dear.
Let me ask you a question about Republican values. I'm just curious, from what you heard on that tape, Donald Trump's comments about women and seemingly saying that he committed sexual assault or touched women without their consent, is that consistent with your party's values in your view?
Absolutely not, and his words were absolutely horrible, and nobody disagrees with that. But if you compare his words to what Bill Clinton did, not only as president, but before he was president, he actually did sexually assault Juanita Broaddrick, Paula Jones. He had sex with an intern in the Oval Office when he was president. He actually did these things. And Hillary Clinton, as the First Lady, attempted to silence and shame the women that were victims
just to be clear,
of Bill Clinton.
Based on the tape, Donald Trump did say on the tape that he did these things. Are you saying that he was lying, that he was just bragging about something he didn't do?
Well, he has said that he didn't do those things. He said it was just locker room talk. And that's what I know at this point. What we do know is what Bill Clinton did, and we know that Hillary Clinton went high order and said that Bill Clinton's victims were part of the, quote, vast right-wing conspiracy, if you remember that. And she said, we're going to learn more about these victims, and they're going to have a lot to answer for. She shamed and silenced the victims of sexual assault,
that of course
very different.
A continuing question for the voters, and will come up later in this campaign, but we appreciate you taking the time today.
Thank you.